So I've had a day to try out some of the new changes they made this patch being 1.000.200, and I think after some time trying it out, I have, some first impressions. This is my what I think about it. So let's start with the very first thing, which is level cap. This is nice. I like to think progression is a fun thing in most games. I'm pretty much near maxed out in all of my ship upgrades. I do have all of the stratagems. I don't have all the weapons though. Still working on grinding out those war bonds. I don't even have the new premium war bond with the with the sickle. But it looks like they increased it now to 150, which is really nice. I thought I was grinding out XP ever since I capped out at 50, but I logged in today and was only level 57. So, it looks like I wasn't as working hard as I thought I did. And it's funny that the last title is super private at 150 because I've been rocking cadet my whole life and I just think it's funny. So I think it's even funnier to be a super private at max level. So I think that's the one time I'll be changing my my title for. But that's level cap and I like that. I think it's fun. Next is Planetary Hazards. So when Planetary Hazards first came out, it was chaotic. It was, meteor storms, earthquakes, fire tornadoes. These next two are just, they're blizzards and sandstorms. So, and I think where I tried it out was on the Bob planets, and it just reduced visibility to near zero. And you also move a lot slower. It's immersive, it's nice, nowhere near as disruptive or as chaotic as the other environmental hazards. But I like it. It reminds me of when I used to play Minecraft on like my clunky Dell laptop. The thing about these sandstorms and blizzards is I don't know if it affects the enemy visibility as well. I think I was able to kind of walk through bots, but I don't know if I was just lucky or if they were aggroing to something else. I think that requires a bit more testing. Even though it's not a huge change, I think it's a good change. It's a good addition, actually. The next one is going to be the mission changes. So they actually made some revisions to the retrieve essential personnel. So this is the one that always shows up on defense missions. And this is the reason why no one wants to do defense missions, because it's very hard, especially on the higher difficulties. You'd spawn in and you only get maybe 9, 12 civilians, 12 if you're really like optimal. 12 civilians off the bat to evacuate, and then everything starts going to hell. And beyond completing the mission, it's hard starting the mission because I tried queuing up and everyone, once they got into the hell pod and saw what the mission was, they left, and I thought it was really funny.
Engaging or allied destroyer has left squadron.
I think he left because he just saw what the mission type was.
Repeat, Helldivers to Hellpods.
We're fine, don't
Hellpod
worry.
Suspended.
Did he just fucking figure it out too?
Allied destroyer has left.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it either.
And the people who stayed, they gave it their all. And I know there's a tactic. I know there's a tactic to aggro the enemies away from it and have someone just, walk in and stealthily clear the civilians out. But it seems that the changes they made, which was to lower the max cap. So on Helldive, it used to be 60, but now it's 50 civilians. And they also moved the spawn points away. So it's a lot more fair for players. And I've seen it. I haven't noticed anything different. They kind of spawn still close, and it's kind of hard once you have 10 berserkers, 5 devastators, and a Hulk spawn very close to one of the buttons. So they say they changed it. They say they made it fair. I haven't been able to complete a mission with a more head-on approach, which is what I'm assuming they made this change for. So we'll see where that goes. Next one is destroy command bunkers. This is the one where, there's some fortified bot structure on the map and the game wants you to take it out, or to give you the option to take it out with a hell bomb, but you can easily take it out with like an eagle airstrike. And they added more of it on those mission types, which is, makes it a lot more harder. And by harder, it just means more. So it's not as hard, you just got to do a bit more. And I think that's an okay change. I do feel like the mission was very easy to do, since you can substitute a hell bomb with just a 500 kilogram. And I think that's it for the missions. Now they have the modifiers, which is something that I've heard time and time again, especially on the subreddit, where I got all this info from. That's really, they there was a lot of complaints about this one, so I'm actually glad that they and I personally didn't find anything, you know, quite infuriating with this. It was you know, difficult to deal with, but you know, I didn't find it to be completely game breaking or completely unplayable. But basically they lowered that modifier where it says 100% increased cooldown on your stratagems for call time on your stratagems, to now just being maybe a little lower, like 50%, I think, which is really nice. And I think that's it for the mission modifiers and mission types. And now we have the actual, you know, the meat of the patch, which is adjustments to weapons. And let's kind of run through these here. So starting with the arc thrower, no more charging inconsistencies. All charges now take 1 second to charge a shot, and there'll be a lot of videos about people saying just fully charge your first shot. Every subsequent shot can be a fully charged shot with, you know, a lot less time. They made it really easy for clearing mobs really fast, but now they made it consistent with 1 second needed for a full charge every shot. I don't know if that's a nerf or a buff. It's quite the adjustment, but the next two are gonna quite, you know, shift it up. So here, so they reduced the distance from it from 50 meters to 35 meters. Obviously a nerf, but once you consider the fact that they also increased stagger to the arc thrower, you know, it kind of makes up for it, because with the distance you didn't want to take close engagements, but now if you're staggering your enemy, you can literally just stun lock a Hulk right up within space, and you can still, it just works out. And I never really thought much about stagger until I used the arc thrower with stagger, and it's it's very oppressive. Stagger is something that was highlighted in this patch a lot, and you'll see in some of the other weapons, but the arc thrower definitely feels a lot more better. Yes, the charging is now different. Yes, the effective range is reduced, but the stagger just feels so good. Again, I'm just a casual player. This is what my opinions are. It's fun. That's all I could say. It's fun. I'm not dying so much when I use it. I feel like I'm actually contributing, and that's why I think it's a good change. The guard dog, no one ever uses the guard dog, so this change was kind of funny to me, because I thought it was something that was already in the game. The resupply boxes fully restore ammo, and it's just weird to think about it, because it comes out of your backpack, it shoots the Liberator gun that's, you know, mounted on that drone, and then it just stops because it's out of ammo. And I know the rover comes back to you, the guard dog rover comes back to you to recharge, and then once it's up and ready again, it comes out and starts lasering, you know, it starts lasering the enemies again, sometimes you, but the regular guard dog would just max out ammo, and you have to call another one to get some more bullets. But now you can resupply it with a resupply pack, so not pack, a box from a resupply, whether it be from the resupply stratagem or from the resupply pack. So I thought that was just fun. I feel like that's something that should have been in the game since the beginning. But that's just me, you know. I feel like, yes, it's a buff, but I feel like, you know, that should have been base for the guard dog. I don't see the guard dog getting any more playability, though. I don't feel like it's enough to nudge it above the other backpack stratagems, let alone the rover. The rover still, like, leagues beyond the guard dog. So next we have the anti-material rifle, which is the gun that I love using ever since I unlocked it. I use it since level 5 to 20 until I got the whatever level it is you unlock it. But ever since I unlocked it all the way up to railgun, I love the anti-material rifle. So they increased the damage by 30%, so that's a third more bullet per bullet, and you can definitely feel some changes there. Yes, you can still two-shot a Hulk in the face, and you can also two-shot a Strider right in the chassis, and I think you can kill Devastators a lot easier. So I definitely see this gun being a lot more viable in higher difficulty drops and runs. I do know that there is an issue with the scope crosshair placement. It's not accurate, and I think devs are addressing that. But I think once that's all said and done, this gun is definitely very up there. Breaker Incendiary. I only use this gun a couple of times. It's great against bugs with all the wave clear, all the mob clear you'll be doing. They increased the damage per bullet now from 15 to 20. It seems small, but they also added another change, which is that all fire tick damage is now increased by 50% from all sources. So I'm assuming that is meant to, you know, increase the damage output for the Breaker Incendiary. Fire damage is now increased by 50% per tick from all sources. It applies to just the damage that I deal. I don't know if it affects flamethrowers. I don't know if it affects napalm strikes. I don't know if it affects me more if the Hulk is cooking me or if the fire tornado is cooking me. That's still something I need to figure out. I haven't noticed anything considerably different. I still feel like I'm able to survive a Hulk flamethrower, and I'm still able to stim my way through it. The Liberator Penetrator, has a full auto mode now. This is just a nice quality of life change. I've seen a lot of people now picking this up just because of this. It used to be only semi-automatic and burst fire. Making it full auto just feels a lot nice. It feels a lot nicer. So I can definitely see people wanting to use this a bit more. The Dominator, increased damage by 50% and increased stagger. This one seems huge. Unfortunately, I don't have the Dominator yet. I didn't I didn't have enough war bonds to unlock it, so I'm just gonna grind towards it and see what my feelings are about that. But given how the numbers look like, it's getting a lot of love. Hopefully someone's able to die with it on hand and I can just pick it up and try it from there. But I'm very curious to see how this feels about the gun. The Diligence counter sniper, increased armor pen from light to medium. So this is my opinion about this is like the guard dog. This should have been away from the beginning. I mean, if you looked at this gun, you should always feel like it should be medium armor penetration. So for the Diligence counter sniper, it's increased armor pen from light to medium. I mean, there's another marksman rifle that was light armor pen. I don't know why they would release another light armor pen. This should have been medium armor pen from the beginning, like a change like the guard dog should have, where it resupplies from ammo pack. But you know, I don't think the gun's. It's a nice change for the gun. It's definitely a buff. I don't know if it's enough to kind of push it over, you know, the other primaries. But I feel like it's a step in the right direction. Slugger. There's a lot of changes to the Slugger, and I know the Slugger was in need of a change. Everyone was using the Slugger, but I don't know if these were the changes that were needed. So first of all, they reduced stagger. You don't really know what you have until you lose it, and stagger is a big thing. So taking some of it off, taking some of it out, you'll definitely feel it. Damage was reduced from 280 to 250. Not a big deal, I think. Nothing that I've seen quite yet. And they reduced the demolition force, which is a big, you know, kick in the groin for me, because I love just using the Slugger to kind of tear down the fences for like a quick route, so I can, like, you know, change up my movement on the mobs. But not being able to do that now just sucks. I do feel like the Slugger still has a lot of potential. I still do think it's a good weapon. I don't know if it's gonna be the best primary out there still, but we'll see. The Recoilless rifle and spear did increase the number of rockets restored from resupply boxes. Recoilless now restores 3 instead of 2. The spear does 2 instead of 1. And this is another quality of life change, because what you can do now is if you're fully empty on either weapon, you can resupply 1, reload, and then resupply again, and then you're fully kitted out. You have like 5 reserve rockets and one loaded up if you have the recoil, and then you have 3 in reserve and 1 loaded up if you have the spear. So it's a nice quality of life change. Don't think it's gonna get any more use out of this. I mean, the Quasar Cannon surprisingly was untouched this patch, and it's still, you know, the go-to for any long-range explosive dealing, you know, aside from the EAT. And then the last one here is the heavy machine gun, which I don't understand. They reduced the fire rate, the highest fire rate option, from 1200 RPM to 950. It's not as memey anymore, and 950 does surprisingly feel a lot more smoother. Not the change I expected though. I maybe expect a little nice bit of an ammo bump, maybe, you know, something a little nicer. But that's it for the weapons. And now we have the stratagems, and the only 2 things that I saw here was that the exosuit rockets, not only from the Patriot exosuit, the rockets not only penetrate armor on direct hit, so I guess no more splash damage armor pen. And they did say that the ballistic shield kind of gives improved coverage. You're able to, you know, get a lot more cover when using the ballistic shield, which I like the ballistic shield a lot. You know, it's hard to make it work, but you know, that's fun about difficult to use things. The challenge is trying to find something that works, and reading this kind of gives me a bit of hope, thinking that I can still bring it into, you know, high difficulty missions, just me and my P4 Senator, or me and, you know, like the 1-arm submachine gun primary. I'm gonna try it out definitely and see where that goes. Oh yeah, so moving on from stratagems, we now have the enemies. No changes were made to automatons, only the bugs. However, there are new automaton mobs. You know, there's like those like flying gunships. There's also the new big factory strider walker looking thingies. I haven't had much experience about them. I've only seen maybe 2 of the big factory striders and maybe 2 of the gunship looking things. But most of the changes to the enemies were to the bugs. Charges normal melee does less damage now to exosuits. That's nice. Bile Spewer and Nursing Spear do less damage with their puke. That's amazing. Bile Titan can no longer be stunned. I think that's okay. It's hard to remember if there was any moment where my life was saved because a Bile Titan was stunned. Maybe some people have experienced it. I don't. Shriekers can no longer create bug breaches. I thought they just flew around and kind of just, nose dove at you. And then Shriekers hitting you while they are dead now does significantly less damage. And significantly is correct here, because I did try it out. And this is how much it only did. Like, I don't know, I was wearing medium armor and it did like, I don't know, a ninth of my health bar. So that's a lot less. They can't just completely kamikaze you. So very good change. And then there was a change to armor actually. So I love heavy armor. I hate how it doesn't work as well as I hoped it to be, but now they gave you a 10% damage reduction while you have heavy armor and 5% damage reduction while having medium armor. I definitely can see the difference. I'm finishing a lot more missions in Helldive with more reinforcements than I usually do. I'm dying a lot less, so it's a good change. So overall, kind of crazy that they didn't touch the Quasar Cannon. Also, one thing I did notice is that I was doing a bot mission where you eradicate the automaton forces. The UI for that's a little different. It's now a percentage one. It's that's how they're counting the progress in that. I didn't see that mentioned, so that was nice. I mean, that was different actually. So, anti-material rifle, good change. I love the weapon. I think it's gonna see a lot more play. And then the modifiers not having the whole 100% cooldown is also very good. It's a huge improvement to just general gameplay, because now you can call in more stratagems, which is one of the hallmarks of the game, being able to call in these very, very useful things from above to help you when you're not just a regular foot soldier, you're a Helldiver, and this makes me feel more like one. And last thing, which I'm just personally excited about, is the ballistic shield. I haven't been able to make it work in the 100 or so hours that I played. Maybe with this change I can see a little bit more success with it. So I'll see where that goes. And hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't, I'm still gonna use it because I'm stubborn. So please comment about what your opinion about the patch notes are, and if you like what you see here, if you like what you're hearing here, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm definitely gonna try labbing some of these changes, so if you want to stick around and see what those videos look like, be sure to stick around for that by subscribing to the channel. So yeah,
another victory for the right side of history.